Hey guys, what's going on? So in the video today, I'm extremely excited because in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing another pair of boots that are not my own. So these are the first pair of Clinch boots that I've ever seen in person, ever had in my possession, ever tried on. You name it, this is my first. So this is from my friend Jeffrey. He sent me these to try out their size, see how the sizing fit for me, worked out for me. He also sent me his Petrol Chamois 2040 last Vibergs to try out. So Jeffrey, thank you so much, my friend. This has been a tremendous help. So from the bottom of my heart, honestly, thank you. These will be back your way here shortly. So let's get into these. So this is a brand I don't know much about, but my buddy Jake at Almost Vintage Style, he sings praise about this company. So this is Clinch, and they're a Japanese brand, and they are very, very expensive, but very, very highly reputed. So before I get started, I'm going to read a little bit about Clinch Boots, the company. Started in 2008 as a classic shoe repair shop, Brass Shoe Repair and Products was opened by Mr. Matsuura, who gained experience as a shoe craftsman's apprentice. The company quickly gained notoriety for their high standard of work on repairs, tacking seamlessly tricky jobs such as relasting and resizing boots. By 2012, Mr. Matsuura was ready to launch his own brand, Clinch. Each style worked from an original handcrafter last, which is the wooden shaping mold for shoe construction. Their boots and shoes have an elegant, handcrafted quality made with only the best materials and all hand-sewn construction. Clinch are front runners in Japanese shoemakers and perhaps the world. And Pancho and Lefty say, Clinch is a premium footwear brand created by Japanese master cobbler Matsuura Minoru, who also runs shoe repair shop Brass, specializing in the restoration of Goodyear welted shoes. Clinch boots are entirely handmade by Matsuura-san and his team in the Brass basement factory, using premium quality horsebutt leathers and feature traditional manufacturing techniques such as hand-carved wooden lasts, ensuring a perfect fitting pair of boots that will last you a lifetime. Clinch is typically known for their most famous for their engineer boots, but this particular model, this is their what they call the lace-up boots, and I don't know the leather. I'm pretty sure Jeffrey bought his secondhand. He's 99% sure there's some sort of Horween Latigo. They're sort of a waxy, they almost have like a dry hand feel similar to kudu. I thought it was a kudu, but he's pretty sure it's a Latigo. So this is a size 9. It's a very, very low volume last. It's my right size. I tried them on. They're definitely, if I were to size in Clinch, this is definitely my size. True to size for sure on this particular model. Unstructured toe, very, very low instep there, you can see. So perfect if you have a low volume foot. I have a high volume foot. Now wearing these with thin socks, I was fine. Yeah, and the length is just right. So in a size 9. So I would not personally recommend sizing down. These are the lace-up boots. So I'll read a little bit from the Clutch Cafe website. So it says, a classically styled boot from Clinch. These boots are superbly well made with a level of craftsmanship that can only be admired. The design is inspired by turn-of-the-century work boot with a brogued cap toe and mid-height. These boots are smart without being formal and sturdy without being chunky. The Latigo leather is beautifully tanned in a rich russet color. So this is a different color than what's on their website. They're russet, which will age beautifully over time, as well as become exceedingly comfortable as it forms to the wearer's foot. These are actually on an original leather sole, and it looks like they adhered a Vibram sole protector to these as well to protect the sole. But these do include the cat's paw heel, which is really cool. I'll get some shots of that. The other thing that's unique about this pair is on the inside of the tongue it says Original Gypsy & Sons Sportswear. I don't know what that means. I assume that Gypsy & Sons, I tried to find like a Gypsy & Sons website. It looks like this is a collab between Gypsy & Sons and Clinch, but I'm not 100% sure. You boot nerds, help me out here. I'm sure somebody out there knows like the full story on this particular model. I don't. I scoured the internet. By that, I mean I tried for about 3 minutes to find these in Google and had no luck. So anybody, I'm sure somebody out there knows exactly what these are. What else is unique about this pair is on the inside, embossed in, there's a word Koide, Koide, embossed on the inner shaft here. And when I Google that, when I do a Japanese to English translation, it means in love. So if that's the case, then that's really cool, because it just shows that they put, love into these boots. So koida, I don't really know Japanese, but koida means in love. It says it on the inner shaft of both boots. And the heel, it says Brass Shoe Factory, established 2007. So that's all the information I have. This Horween Latigo is really, really cool. Like I said, it looks like a kudu. It's got like similar markings and character similar to a kudu. It's not quite as dry as kudu, but it's still sort of dry-ish. And it's got really cool like black abrasions on it, which I can't really explain. And the other thing, yeah, so this is like a looser temper leather. It's not super firm of a temper. It's kind of a looser temper, I want to say. Not so loose that they don't feel good. They're just like right in the middle. It's a nice like coffee brown or tobacco brown. And what I really like about it is the edge is polished. The edge finishing is polished to match the upper pretty close. So it's not much of a contrast. It's a pretty close match. And then we've got a perforated cap toe with pinking, very nice. We've got a quadruple stitch down quarter here. We've got a cosmetic double stitched heel counter. We've got a back heel strip, rough out on the inside, unlined. I'll also mention the welt. It's a 270-degree Goodyear welt. Very nice. Leather sole with that Vibram protective layer on top. Very narrow. It's a very narrow last. As you can see, like, so these are the Clinch in size 9. These are my Alden True Balance in size 8.5. See how much fuller that True Balance is. That's what I love about True Balance. I have a wide foot. I fill this thing out. In these, like, it works. Like, I could wear these, don't get me wrong. My buddy Mario actually told me try a 9.5 if you ever go Clinch. And I was thinking, you know, maybe, but I could tell that the size 9 is technically correct for me. These Aldens in 8.5, they're just a little long, but I like that generous fit. Aldens in an 8D, they kind of hurt my instep depending on the time of the day and depending on the sock I'm wearing. But my perfect fit in Alden is probably an 8E, I'm finding out. Doesn't mean that these are wrong, they're just a little long. Here's a good size comparison here. Yeah, Parkhurst 8.5, Clinch size 9. Yeah. Same length, looks like same length. Clinch is just more narrow. Parkhurst is real generous here in this quarter area, right in the midsection. It's real generous. It's got a good taper, but then it really tapers out into an almond shape towards the toe. Now these Clinch, it's kind of interesting. They're sort of thin throughout. They're sort of very narrow throughout. And then the toe actually doesn't taper a whole lot. Like, it's a nice rounded toe shape, but it doesn't taper out like the Parkhurst do into an almond shape. It's more of like it almost gets like flat at the tip here. But yeah, like I said, I say Parkhurst has a low volume instep here. This vamp is unstructured, but these Clinch are there is even less space in there. Alden too, you know, Alden's unstructured. There's shoe trees in here, so it might look a little bit more voluminous, but the Aldens compared to the Clinch, the Aldens have a lot more height compared to the Clinch. Real quick, I've got some Grant Stone diesel boots, size 8.5, next to Clinch, size 9. So there you have it. Yeah, Clinch are just so narrow. Look at that. That's crazy. They're just so narrow. Yeah, you really see it from the underside there. Viberg 2030, Clinch size 9, 2030 in a size 8.5, Clinch size 9. 2030 in comparison, much bigger. I should be a size 8D in the Viberg 2030. These are just big. So little too big, little too small. Both work. All right, and then here's the Truman 79 last, size 8.5, next to Clinch size 9. Let's see that. Yeah, Truman's going to be a lot more rounded out in the toe, a lot more fuller of a fit. Very perfect fit on my foot. And the Clinch, just, you know, lower volume. I'm going to do a separate video all on sizing. I'm just going to take pictures of all the brands I have next to the Clinch and I'll do a separate sizing video, but I just kind of want to get my initial thoughts out. All right, so a little bit about Horween Latigo. So Latigo is a combination tan leather that blends the durability of a chrome tan base with a heavy veg retan to create an unfinished natural look that's excellent for molding. It holds embossing well, as we saw on the inside of the boot. It retains molded shapes, full grain, corrected grain versions. Latigo is a combination tan leather with a full vegetable retan, well nourished with a rich proprietary blended oil emulsion. Characterized by beautiful tight grain, Latigo has come a long way from its cowboy origins, the old days of saddle straps and hand staining. Modern Latigo retains its toughness while showing a rich look that improves with age and use. This leather blends the durability of a chrome tan base with a heavy veg retan to create an unfinished natural look that's excellent for molding. It holds embosses well, retains molded shapes, and has both full and corrected grain versions. So there you have it, folks. That's Latigo for you. Very cool. I'll be sure to get outside shots of these as well. So anyways, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Again, I'm sorry if I had huge gaps, knowledge gaps about this brand, because I just am not that familiar with it. I know my buddy Dave, Boots of Mannish Leather, as well as my buddy Jake at the vintage, at Almost Vintage Style. He freaking loves Clinch. He could do a much better job on Clinch boot reviews than I can, because he's actually owned them and worn them for a long time. But so hopefully I did this justice. Looking at the website, like, these are $1,850 right now. I don't know how much the original person got these for. I know Jeff got them sometime last year, I think. He would have got them secondhand, so he wouldn't have paid that much, but Clinch is very expensive, partially due to the Japanese workmanship and high cost of the economy there, partially due to the international shipping I would expect. But yeah, Clinch they have a very good reputation. Yeah, their shoes are $1,500. Their engineers are $2,100. Their white rough out lace-up boots are $1,850. Their Mass Trainer brown ivory boot trainers are $575, so not as bad. So yeah, anyways, their prices vary wildly. They can be pretty expensive. So one thing I'll say, like, if you like the last, and I was talking to my buddy Jimmy about this, he was saying that, you know, yes, they're expensive, but if you're looking to get that last and to get that specific look that Clinch, really only Clinch can definitively pull off, then they're worth the money. And you know, we talked to a lot of people on forums and stuff, and ultimately, how do you determine what value to place on a boot? The value is if you buy it and you feel like you got your money's worth. That's where the value of the boot is. So these are $1,800, and if you freaking love these, then $1,800 is the price you pay, and you'll be happy to pay it. You know, me personally, this is not the ideal last for my foot, though I will say that this is a masterpiece, don't get me wrong, but this is not the ideal last for my foot. I personally would not pay over $1,000 for these. That's just me. They're wonderful, wonderful pieces of footwear. They're heirloom quality. They're treasures that they could be passed down from owner to owner for many, many years, get lots and lots of wear out of them. That's just my 2 cents on that. Me personally, I have a hard time spending $600 on Alden these days. That's kind of where Truman and Grant Stone, you know, between the $300, $400, $500 range, that's kind of my sweet spot personally right now. But I know that there are guys that are like far more educated than me, far more savvy than me, far more sophisticated than me, and they go out and they'll drop $2,000 on a pair of boots, and they'll wait 3 years for them. You know, they'll plan this stuff in advance, and they get them and they love them, they wear them, and they're just trophies in their collection. So that's my 2 cents on that. Just because I'm not to this level does not mean that I don't appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. So anyways, huge thanks to Jeff again for sending me these boots. These will be back on their way here soon, sir. Anyways, you can follow me on Instagram. My username is AeroSurferLV. Please leave me your thoughts in the comments below. And anyways, thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'll see y'all in my next video.